Hi everyone, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. For those of you who don't know me, I am a Reiki Master and Spontaneous Channel. I do coaching for Twin Flames as well as card readings. I do the coaching with and without cards, as well as the healing and activations with or without cards. I also do numerology, which I've been doing since my 20s. And my 3D background is in research. I worked at University of Penn for 25 years, managing mostly medical device trials. My website is twinflames3344.com if you need anything, and the information is below as well, along with my email, which is the same at gmail.com. I want to thank all of you for your likes, shares, subscribes, and of course your comments. I really appreciate all your comments and so enjoy having our conversations. And I am going to do a read for the Divine Masculine tonight, as I normally do. I'm just going to go over the energies quickly, and then I have my male headings today. And I did want to bring up, speaking about my abilities, as a Reiki Master, I feel that I'm good at clearing auric layers and chakras and things like that, but I think my real strength is in physical healing. When I do healing, I can actually feel areas in your body that may have issues. My strongest intuitive ability is my clairsentience and my knowing. So I actually can feel where you may be having issues within your body. And I wanted to share a download that I received to help myself, which I've actually used on myself, with your intention. If you have any back issues or you have bulges that you know about, and I was given this cure specifically was a download that I received, to visualize the discs where your pain is or where you have issues, and visualize putting a rubber band around that disc space to hold the bulge in, and then tighten the rubber band, and do that wherever you have issues in your spine, and let me know if you try it out. It definitely worked for me, and I'd like to help other people. If you're able to do that for yourself, then you know, that would be wonderful. So that's why I'm sharing, so that other people can help themselves as well. Okay, so let me know if you try it out and you have some results with it. I would love to hear your feedback about it. I actually, when I used it for the first time, I was actually out in Arizona with my daughter, which is where I got that download, and used it on myself at the time I got it, and actually had a very comfortable plane ride, which I rarely do because I've had back issues for many years now. I have about 5 bulges in my spine, so plane rides aren't usually very comfortable for me. And we got stuck on the tarmac for 2 hours, and it was like a 4.5 hour flight, and I did really well. I was fine. So I would try it out. Okay. The energies for today, let's see, today is January 2nd, 2018. Happy New Year to everybody. The day today is the 2nd, so 2 is the High Priestess, which is all about your intuitive abilities. And it's also the feminine energy. So it's about seeing both sides of the situation, being more of the peacemaker, that feminine energy. And it's a more passive energy as opposed to the masculine, which is much more focused and direct. So the day adds up to the number 14, which is a 5. It's the Temperance card. And 5 is all about change and freedom and sex and vacations and excitement. Okay, but with change can come conflict. So we're charged with learning to transmute those energies. So instead of getting into conflict, staying neutral, you know, at the 0 point or the void, the vortex, whatever you want to call it, it's staying balanced so that when conflict comes up, you're able to stay in that place and not be affected by what's going on around you. So 14 as the 5 is the 4 working through the 1. So 4 is about stability and structure and building, but it's really about the responsible person. People with a 4 on the outside, someone comes off as very responsible, someone you can lean on and trust, you know, to take care of everything the way they're supposed to and be on time and all that kind of thing. As on the inside, it's just having that stability within, like someone who doesn't get nervous because they just know everything's fine all the time. On the outside, the 1 is about the leadership energy. It's the masculine energy, very focused. It's more focused on self, but very driven and independent, and they can be pioneering, innovative. All of those energies go along with the 1, so it's about leadership. When people see a 1 on the outside, they're drawn to them for leadership. So it's the stability through leadership in temperance, balance, okay? Being focused and structured. In doing the Divine Masculine read today, the initial energies I was getting was very scattered and nervous energy. So if any of you are also feeling those energies, let me know. As far as the male headings today, I have, I'm on the wrong page. I did an activation yesterday too, where I saw cars flying. I'm not sure what had happened to cause those cars flying, but it was just the energy that was coming up, so I thought I'd bring it up, as well as I saw 2 wolves coming at each other. So wolf fight, but it was, I really was getting aggressive energy between the wolves, like competition. Okay, and then today in an activation, one of the things that came up had to do with, and actually I was doing Sonia from 10 of Cups. I was doing her activation today, and she was talking about people who may have had wounding from past lives where they used their psychic abilities, and they were so good at it. The one time where something went wrong, it went very, very wrong, and then of course that would cause a wound in you, not wanting to use your psychic abilities in this life. So if something like that has come up for you, let me know that too. When I heard this, it spontaneously came up for me. As well as after this, and you'll like to hear this one, I saw an assembly line of like David statues coming down one by one, very slowly, surely, and calmly, the Divine Masculine coming into their union space one by one, very calmly and slowly and surely. And it was very peaceful. So I thought you'd like to hear about that energy as well. The male headings I got for today are at 1:34, spaced out, and that was a reminder to call in Michael if you need protection. 4:30 was Swedish massage, so maybe you could use a massage, or maybe your Divine Masculine married his masseuse. You never know. 6:10, Puritan's pride. There may be a very conservative family upbringing with the Divine Masculine for some people. 6:44 was 2018 equals the year of savings. So we'll get grounded to go out there and help the other people around us who we're meant to help. 7:01, the after party has begun. 8:11, ally invest, which I took as, you know, invest in your allies. You know, when you make good connections, invest in them. And that could be to actually invest into a business too, you know, what you resonate with. Practice your own intuitive abilities through all areas of your life. And connect with others. Okay? For those of you who have been isolating, You might want to try to get out and connect with others. You can connect with people one by one, you know, in the beginning. Just get yourself out there. 839, just your type massage. So massage came up a couple times. It might be important for you to release some of the trapped energies in your body. And actually I just had a massage that was great. It was a totally different massage that I hadn't tried before with a different person, and it was great. It definitely released some things for me. 914 was staples. Maybe you need to stock up on some staples for the house. 935 and 951 were jewelry blowout, 55. So someone's out buying jewelry, and there's 55, which is lots of change turning into a new beginning. 1002, just released today. So there may be news. And 1021, begin 2018 by following our students. And then there was just a small I, ... And I got it as by following our children, the little eyes, because they have so much to teach us in their innocence and their love. So you might want to watch your children as an example. 1027, year, and I got a connection for the children thing. 1027, year of you and improved. 1222, Cancun. Some of you may be taking a trip to Cancun. 111, new arrivals. 122, fly. Maybe we're being pushed to go travel, and maybe just astro travel. 203, there's a happy face, not a joke. You're receiving hug. Okay, and that was ... So that part of that message was cut off. So this was specifically hug for you. You've received hug. 222, this year, get healthy in style. Okay, so some of you may need to focus on your health, or maybe you need to just go out shopping and take care of yourself. 239, musician's friend. 243, these sneakers got us like, and then there's another happy face. So it's saying, these sneakers got us happy. And I was taking it as someone who's sneaky. So someone who's sneaky might get you happy. 333, 2018, New Year healing event tonight. So maybe some of you should do a healing event tonight. Okay. Okay, so now for the Divine Masculine read. I did a summary like I've been doing the past few times for those of you who just want a quick read so that you can go on to do other things. And then I will do the formal read where I go through each card and show you. Okay, so here's my summary. The major arcana for the Divine Masculine was, and as I said before, I was getting scattered nervous energy as I was dealing the cards. And it was 431 for anyone who wants to know. The major arcana were Magician, Hermit, and Death cards. There were 5 wands, which is really heavy wands, 2 swords, and 1 cups, and no pentacles for the Divine Masculine, and that's very rare because it's usually mostly pentacles for the Divine Masculine. No pentacles today. The suits that came up for the read, and this does not include major arcana like the Hermit. It's just the court cards. The Queen of Cups and the Knight of Wands came up in the basic read. There were other clarifiers that came up, like the King of Cups reversed, the Page of Swords reversed, the Queen of Swords, and the King of Pentacles, but they were clarifiers. And by the way, the Queen of Cups has been coming up a lot lately, and so is the Justice card. Okay, so we have a lot of wands here, and we have the Magician, the Hermit, and Death. You know, some heavy energies there. Okay, so the Divine Masculine is not choosing a path, not expressing. With the Page of Swords and the 5 of Swords behind him, so there's a lot of sword energy behind him as he comes into this 2 of Wands, which came up as the reversed energies, because he's not expressing his feelings and he's not choosing. Due to authority figures at work or maybe court matters, he's so stuck in a battle of wills that he can't move forward. He feels like he has no options due to a liar at work, an air sign, or a nasty person, lawyer, or just someone not talking, or just not themselves, or him not being himself. It looks like there's no sex in a marriage due to distance and or working a lot and or just distant from God and or religion. He has a hidden connection that makes him feel proud and successful. And then the card came up, she is the moon, which was number 21. So it's all about the feminine energy and the moons. The connection is related somehow to the Christ flame, which also came up, the number 31. In recent past, an earth sign male was manifesting really well and successfully. The foundation is someone lying, cheating, or stealing at work and or making an escape with or from a manipulative water sign. And so, of course, water sign is Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. So this is a water sign male who lies, or this water sign makes off with something, or even a child who's been difficult or not talking at all, but making off with this child. Someone's with the child. It's not just a child by themselves. The central issue is fighting between an earth sign male, so Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn male, and a water sign female, which again is Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. And this Queen of Cups is an X, okay? So it's a could be the twin or the karmic, because it is a failed love, okay? So that's why it's the X. So someone who's come together already in union but broke up again. This could apply to, but it's mostly coming up as the karmic, okay? So this is coming up as the water female X, who may have air in her chart, thinks she knows everything, and is waiting for her ship to come in. Now she may think he cheated with a Cancer at work due to secret messages. And the fight involves the nasty air sign yelling. Also involves family, stifled creativity or growth, and or sexual frustration with the Queen of Cups. They're challenged by suffering in secret with their psychic abilities and messages. Not using or connecting with the High Priestess is slowing his fortune, and he may be also worrying about the High Priestess excessively. It's the Nine of Swords. Okay. And the major players in the read were Scorpio, Cancer, Virgo, and Aries, and maybe Sag as well. They may be fighting for inheritance as well, since Court and Death card came up, or relationship stuff. Okay. Now the Water X, or the Air, or Air X, because that came up with the Queen of Cups as well, was the Queen of Swords as a clarifier. Or there may be two X's, or it could be the X and a friend who's talking on their behalf. This person or persons are overindulging, cheating, and or gossiping about pissed fire male moving for love. Okay, so of course fire is going to be Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And this is a male. Soon there's a major sexual connection, explosive even, he wasn't expecting, with a Virgo with their guard up, or just someone hiding, shy, holding up their light, weakly standing guard. The Divine Masculine comes up as fire, as the Knight of Wands, but clarifies as the King of Wands, juggling, or actually seeing his two sides for the first time, clearly. He also may be seeing him like his father juggling, if his father juggled women or work or whatever it was, but he may be seeing himself as his father. He wants to rush in, but will she put up a front when he gets there? He needs to get past marriage and or religious beliefs to get to the hermit who's imprisoned by imbalance and losing energy and or money. And then the moon card comes up. So the moon came up twice in cards from the oracle decks today. This moon card is number 11 and focused on feminine wisdom. Okay, and it's sitting on the clarification cards for this Virgo or Hermit in the energies around the Divine Masculine. Okay. He fears that this Virgo or Hermit, so it could be an older person, it could be just someone who's in solitude, it could be him in solitude, but he fears this Virgo or Hermit will be guarded because of so much wounding. The Christ flame is between two moons and a successful connection. The Virgo friend puts themselves out there. There may be sex if she keeps her mouth closed, or there may be conflict about sex because he's trying to keep her mouth closed. There's transformation in a message of love, a letting go of stuff, and talks about a fresh start, but that it's not ready to happen yet. The outcome card was the death card. So there's a Scorpio or Cancer that's on the move, or Scorpio moving to a Cancer, or an end to a Scorpio with a Cancer coming in new. Okay, so I did get the death card as the outcome, but I wasn't getting that it was a specific death. To a person is more of the transformation energy. Although there's a lot of swords, the swords were separate, and it could have to do with an inheritance of a death that happened already. And it is possible that there is a death, but there's not a lot of energy around it. So for most people, it has to do with transformation and it ending to maybe a relationship. There's a huge family fight here, whether it's just with the spouse or with the whole family involved, because we do have the Ten of Pentacles as a clarifier there. Okay, so for those of you who want to get going, that's the end of the summary, and now I'm just going to start and do my formal read from the beginning. So the underlying energy, or energies, and by the way, I don't have my numerology cards or my romance angels cards because I had to leave them out in Arizona with my daughter because we went to Atlanta, and that's when the airport closed down, and so instead of going back to Phoenix, we ended up having to come back straight back to Philadelphia. So I don't have my two decks I usually use, so instead I incorporated the oracle cards into my read. So we have underlying energies for the main deck, which is the Golden Universal. The bottom of the deck is the Two of Wands, but I wanted you to see behind that. That was the Five of Swords, and the Page of Wands was a lot of sword energy. And these are all uprights. My clarifiers, I use uprights and reverse, so that will give you more information about the energies that this card is putting out as far as the upright or the reversal of it. So the clarifier for the Two of Wands is the Eight of Wands reversed. Okay, so that's definitely the negative energies. It's not expressing your feelings. It's delayed communications, delayed flight, delayed arrows of love. But it's clarifying the Two of Wands, so it's usually choosing a path or looking over your dominion and feeling that you have the world in the palm of your hands and that you could do anything. But they're not expressing their feelings or making a choice or a decision about where they want to go. It's like there's major conflict behind them with the Five of Swords. It could be another person, or it could just be their own thoughts, their self-defeating thoughts. And then we have the Page of Swords there too, which can be really immature energy as far as communication or thoughts are concerned. And right next to this energy is authority figures with a gavel. So this could definitely relate to court issues or just authority figures in general. I'm sure a lot of the Divine Masculines have past life issues with authority figures, and it may be coming up to deal with that and clear it. The other underlying energies from the Tarot of Sexual Magic is the Eight of Pentacles, but I wanted to show you the Hierophant behind that. Okay. So this card usually shows, a couple that's too busy to be intimate. They're not having sex, and then there's this, narcissistic type Hierophant behind them. So that could have to do with, a marriage where someone could be cheating, or someone, or they're just literally just too busy. It also could have to do with religion. Maybe there's a priest who's bad, or it could be the perspective of the Divine Masculine on religion and God and what his beliefs are, and they're not positive, because this is very narcissistic here. So I'm not very positive in his relationship, just generally negative, whether they're married or not married. It's just not positive. The other underlying energies from the Gilded is the Six of Wands with the Two of Cups behind it. Okay, this is very positive energy for a strong connection, psychic connection in this deck. Okay. And then in my Journey of Love, and this is the bottom of the deck for the energies, is She is the Moon. I don't know how well you can see it here, but okay. And that's number 21, which is a 3. And the coloring, it's got, it's like an earthy green and whites and grays. It's very healing. And 21 is the World, so it's definitely feminine energy and of closure with the world. So those are the underlying energies. It's very kind of contradictory, because we have so much masculine in the beginning of the underlying energies going towards very feminine energies. It's like kind of showing the problems between the masculine and the feminine, whether it's the karmic or the twin. It's just showing the differences in the masculines and the feminines, and that there's no intimacy in the connection. And it can be all about work in the underlying energy, but like I said, no pentacles came up in this read. So starting from the past, we have, here's the Magician with the King of Pentacles, the Divine Masculine at work, manifesting and doing really well. It's very, very positive, very strong. Okay, so this is the recent past. And it could be somebody else in the Divine Masculine's life, but it is the Magician, the King of Pentacles, as an earth sign, so Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, could definitely represent the Divine Masculine, whether he's one of those signs or not. It could just have to do with his work life and his status, and he's doing very well for himself and manifesting. He's the Magician. Or it could be somebody else maybe he works with. Maybe it could be the Five of Swords person who's behind him, giving him issues. Then in the foundation, before I get to the foundation, I didn't show you the mini deck. The mini deck underlying cards is the Divine Masculine at work. Okay, and underneath that is the King of Swords reversed, and then here's the Two of Wands again. So that was the second time that the Two of Wands came up as an underlying energy reversed. Okay, then not making a choice of path. And I also read that card when it's reversed as feeling like they have no options. And the King of Swords reversed, can be someone who lies, someone who's just not talking, someone who's just out of sorts. It could be, a nasty lawyer or other kind of professional. Or just could be the Divine Masculine being nasty. He has no options, he's feeling stuck, and he's working hard. But, maybe he could be snapping not being his usual patient self at work. Okay. So the foundation, and this is running from these underlying energies, is the Seven of Swords. Okay. So the look on his face, it's sad. It's not like, you know, like a really bad guy. It's someone sad who's just kind of grabbing stuff at the last minute and then just taking what he can and just getting out of there, but just really sad about what he's leaving. I don't know if you could see his facial expression there. It's like he's running away from the work environment. But it's clarified by the Chariot, the King of Cups reversed, and the Page of Swords reversed. So the Chariot's about, you know, moving, major moving. So we have this Seven of Swords who's already moving there, and then we have this major arcana of movement. It's also the card of Ascension, with this King of Cups and this Page of Swords reversed. You know, neither which of is good. So it seems, you know, with all the swords in this underlying energy and work environment, it looks like someone's definitely cheating or stealing, and then there's major movement away with this King of Cups, who could be manipulative or just really over-emotional. And then the Page of Swords reversed can describe him like not talking or being sneaky or being very immature in the way he speaks. But it could also represent a child that's taking off with him, an air sign. So again, this is the King of Cups, so it's a water sign male who's lying, cheating, or stealing, you know, running away from something. So this could represent the Divine Masculine or someone in his environment who's running away from his environment. It could be him or somebody else. Then we have the central issue. Central issue is the fight. Okay, we got the Five of Wands. It's a big battle. You know, the traditional meaning of this is like, you know, the fight for riches. It's competition. But here with the clarifiers, it's definitely about family. Okay, we have the Knight of Swords over here reversed, which is really nasty energy. Then the Ten of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands reversed, and then the Queen of Cups. So saying the people involved with this fight can be an air sign who's the one kind of instigating, and then it could be involved with more family members or just family money. And then there's this wand reverse, which has to do with a lack of creativity or growth or no sex, you know, maybe sexually frustrated, with the Queen of Cups here. So, and she seems very passive here in this clarification, whereas the Knight of Swords reversed is very aggressive. It's very nasty and aggressive. There's definitely a fight going on here. It's challenged by the Nine of Swords. You know, there's great suffering going on here. They're grabbing their head in grief. They don't know what to do. They're so in their head, something's really bothering them, and it's clarified with the High Priestess and the Wheel reversed. Okay? So it could have to do with the Divine Masculine's own psychic abilities, that they're not using their psychic abilities, or that the downloads they're getting are making them crazy, and it's kind of like stopping their fortune from coming in, because it could be draining them or just making them worry. Or it could literally be the Divine Masculine worrying about the High Priestess, the person he knows whose psychic abilities, and that their fortune is lacking, maybe because he feels some kind of responsibility toward that. Then we have what's in the head and heart in the now moment for the Divine Masculine is the Queen of Cups. Okay, so you saw that the Queen of Cups was already involved in this family fight. And we have this next to the Magician, King of Pentacles, which definitely looks like a fight between a couple. And the energies for the Queen of Cups are the Lovers reversed, which would be an X, who is the Three of Wands often means, you know, someone who's waiting for their ship to come in. And then the Queen of Swords, who this Queen of Swords is talking. She's got her hand out and making sure her point is known. She's telling some truth, whether they like it or not. So this Queen of Cups could have air sign qualities as well in their chart, or it could be a separate person. It could be a friend, or it could be another X. There could be two X's. Okay, or it could be a sister as well of one of them. But it's definitely an X who's waiting for their ship to come in. And they're scorned, you know, because we have the Queen of Swords. So they're fighting. It's a big fight, and it seems like family's involved more than just the couple, but that it's about sexual issues as well, especially since we have this underlying card. Okay, so no sex is happening. Then these cards from the Gilded deck are clarifying that as well. The Queen of Cups. Okay, so we have the Three of Cups reversed, the Chariot, the King of Wands reversed, and the Ace of Cups. Okay, so, you know, Three of Cups can be about a few things. It can be a third-party affair. It can be overindulging in anything, in any kind of drugs or alcohol or partying or just whatever, too much socializing. It could also be nasty gossip. And it can be the opposite too, where, you know, upright is in having joy and fun, and up here is not doing any of that. Okay? But we have the Chariot, which is a major move. And then a King of Wands with the Ace of Cups next to him. So he's pissed or just exhausted, but wants a new love. And that's the new love is farthest of the cards away from the Queen of Cups. So there may be something, you know, he may be trying to get away from the Queen of Cups, moving away, may be making a major move, or she may be majorly moving away from him. But there's definitely some negative circumstances involving this card and overindulgences in some capacity. This is like a huge fight. In the near future, then, all of a sudden, you know, we have the Ace of Wands, you know. So it could be a new start as far as something creative, but it can be a new sexual partner as well. It's like spontaneous. It's clarified with the Two of Cups and the Tower. Like a spontaneous event that the Divine Masculine was not expecting. And it's next to, this is the Hopes and Fears card, but this is parallel to that card to give you an idea where it's directed. Okay, and this is a Virgo, or someone who's hermiting with the light, who's guarding themselves. They're very weak, but they're still a little guarded. They still have a little bit left. Then the Divine Masculine is seeing himself as the Knight of Wands, and it's clarified by the King of Wands and the Two of Pentacles. So, and this Knight of Wands is literally like running the other way from this, which would be the relationship. It's clarified by the King of Wands and Two of Pentacles. So it can be this Knight of Wands looks like he's looking down upon the King of Wands and the Two of Pentacles. That, is this how he really is? Like he's seeing himself in a different way, where he's just juggling all the time, never has time for relationships, or juggling women, juggling work, juggling too many things just in general, or then even him as the Knight of Wands seeing this as his father doing these things, and he's repeating his father's patterns, you know, because we have the, you know, the loop, the infinity loop here of repeating patterns. So he might be seeing these different things in himself. He's too busy to notice because he just works and works and works, or does whatever he does. Then around him, in his environment, we get the Hermit Virgo again, okay? So again, it could be a Virgo person, it could be someone who's just spending a lot of time alone, but they have the light, or it could be a wise old man, it could be a grandparent. Okay, but and it can be the Divine Masculine himself. It's clarified with the 8 of Swords and the 6 of Pentacles reversed. So that's about feeling like he's, you know, he's still in his head, he's imprisoned in his head, or this Virgo person is. They're imprisoned and they're not balanced, they're losing money, they're losing energy, or it could be, you know, one of those. You know, by hermiting, you know, they're just in their head a lot and they're not doing anything, so they're losing the balance that they had. And it's on top of this Moon card. Okay, and that's from the Ascension deck. It's number 11. So 11 is the Justice card. And it's also that very spiritual number. It's a 2, it's a feminine energy. The Moon is the causal chakra of the universe and radiates divine feminine energies. Call on it to cleanse your aura and energize you. Okay, so maybe it's telling the Hermit they need to energize themselves. Remember, the influence of the celestial body is always there, whether you can see it or not. When you're offered this card, you're called on to practice your feminine qualities of love, wisdom, compassion, intuition, inclusiveness, discernment, and oneness. Your guidance is to go within and seek answers from your huge font of wisdom. The Moon will bring you clarity so that you can flow with the current of ascension. And the affirmation is, I listen to my divine feminine wisdom. So this is being brought out by whether this outside party, Virgo Hermit person, is a feminine, or bringing out the feminine in the Divine Masculine, that he needs to count on his feminine side more than his masculine right now. That it will benefit him. Then we have in the Hopes and Fears position is the 9 of Wands, clarified by this Hermit. Okay, so that ties the two of them together and connects this Virgo Hermit person to the Ace of Wands, okay? That has a 2 of Cups and a Tower. So the Tower here can be, it could be someone kicked out of a house, it could be an orgasm, it could be, you know, something very spontaneous and surprising, having to do with a connection, which is upright, positive. Okay, then we have the Tarot Sexual Magic that clarifies the outcome is the 5 of Swords. The 5 of Swords and the 4 of Swords. Alright, very swordy. And this is, it looks like, you know, someone wants to have sex, but only if someone will keep quiet about it, right? And that they're both swords, you know, has a very negative connotation, especially with all the swordy stuff in the beginning of this read. And it's on top of the Christ Flame, which is the Journey of Love card that the Divine Masculine got, which I will read as soon as I'm done. Okay. It's number 31, which is the 5 of Wands, which is the center of the read. You know, there's conflict here. And this is, you know, this picture is really describing Jesus' time on the cross. You know, he's looking like he's in pain, surrounded by fire, and you see there is a bit of a, you can see a bit of a cross in the background. So it's describing the divine masculine as this is his time on the cross. You know, it's very painful and difficult. And that was on the left side of the divine masculine outcome. On the right side, we have here, this is the Nine of Wands and the Nine of Wands and the Six of Wands. So we got wands on this side. The other side was, the feminine side was swords. Masculine sign's all wands. The 9 and the 6. And that's all about a friend comforting the divine masculine. Because the 9 of Wands is, you know, the wounded warrior. And that this friend is putting themselves out there to them. So this could be this Virgo hermit person. And the 6 of Wands is, you know, positive attention. They're putting themselves out there. And we parallel that with this 6 of Wands at the bottom of the deck with the 2 of Cups. So 2 of Cups there and 2 of Cups on the Ace of Wands. So this is connecting to this friend. Okay, and this has clarified the outcome, which is the death card with the Chariot coming next. Okay, so very powerful here, 2 major arcana, very heavy. So it could be a Scorpio and Cancer. But it's, you know, complete transformation. We have Ascension there too, so it could be Ascension transformation. Death card is parallel with the Queen of Cups, so it's like death of this relationship with this Queen of Cups, or transformation. And then there's the Chariot, which is someone's leaving. Okay, there's movement away or up. And the Death card's clarified by the Ace of Pentacles reversed, the 4 of Pentacles reversed, and then the Page of Cups, which is not reversed. Okay, so there's a message of love. It could be a child. Could be a child offering love. To let go of their stuff and a new beginning. But it's a message of love. It's a message of love and letting go of things, stuff. And talking about, and this was under the conversation of the 2 people, the Ace of Pentacles reversed. So talking about a new beginning, but not able to start at this moment. Okay. So there's definitely something major going on here. You know, there's a big fight as the central issue leading to death. And it looks like a fight between a couple where family's involved. And there's some kind of theft or cheating that comes out in the foundation, or someone sneaking out or making a getaway. Yeah. But like I said, in the main spread, the only people involved in the main spread are the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Wands. Okay, so it just depends on your situation, whether it's the Queen of Cups seems to be more the karmic right here, but it can be the divine feminine as well. Okay, and now I'm going to read the moon is on top, and there's 2 moon cards. And in between the moon cards is this 6 of Wands and that the Christ flame, you know, Jesus on the cross. So it's what has to take place between the 2 moons. I'm getting, you know, from this January 1st full moon until the January 31st full moon. There's a lot going on. It's his time on the cross, and his time to succeed and get past all that. It could also be that the success was, and he's getting knocked off his horse and hung on the cross, in a matter of speaking. Okay? So the Christ flame is 31, so maybe this will give us some more information about that. Within you burns the flame of the Christ. Beyond religion, this flame belongs to all hearts willing to receive the divine, opening to it as a lover would open the heart to receive the beloved. Though the awakening of the Christ within brings greater closeness to the divine, and therefore greater love and depth of compassion, it too can bring sadness, righteous anger, and a passionate need to contribute positive healing action and change in the world. And Spirit's connecting with me. You may be an introspective soul who does this through mastering their inner world with meditation and yoga, raising your own vibration with absolute intent that this bring healing to the world around you. You may be an extroverted soul that thrives in sharing messages and living a life of dynamic action in support of the causes that are worthy and moving to your brave heart, capable of feeling divine outrage and responding with inspired action. You may be a combination of these soul types, and choosing wisely what you consume, which companies you support, what television you do or do not watch, and what you read, voting for the life you want to have around you in the world through your actions, internal and external. This is the Christ flame igniting within you, setting the world aflame with the fire of divine love. This oracle brings guidance that you're connected with the universal Christ consciousness, and your heart is meant to awaken as a sacred heart, bearing the Christ flame of divine love this lifetime. You're part of the wave of awakening happening on the earth now. You're exactly where you're meant to be and doing exactly what you're meant to be doing. Keep going. And here's the poem, The Divine Masculine. Love is more than words can define. It is a feeling which wells up inside and longs for release. It is a smile which starts in my heart and spreads across my face like a silly grin. It is a knowing so deep in my being that every cell speaks in a language only lovers know. And most of all, it is the beginning, the birth, the possibility, the promise of a tomorrow, the hope that grows into something we can only imagine when hearts combine and love becomes more. Okay, so Divine Masculine's being called to understand what he's going through and why. To follow his inspiration. To follow his calling. To open his heart. And not do it by fighting, like this read is displaying, but by working on yourself with inspired action. And that summarizes it pretty well. And let's see. And if you want, I will pull a couple cards for the Divine Feminine. Okay. We'll do the Ascension deck. The Ascension deck. This is for the Organic Divine Feminine Twin Flames. What is the card for the Organic Feminine Twin Flames? What is the advice? What is the advice? And we have Fire Dragons. It's number 7. And I'm going to pick one from the Past Life deck as well. For the Organic Divine Feminine Twin Flames, what is the advice? What is the advice? What is the advice for the Organic Divine Twin Flames? Feminine. Farm. And then one more from Journey of Love. This is for the Organic Divine Feminine Twin Flame. Organic Divine Feminine Twin Flame. Nope. dream a little. Sorry about the glare. The number is 51, and I'll read that to you in a sec. And something I remembered too when I was meditating this morning, I saw what looked like spaceships landing. So if that resonates with anyone, let me know. Okay, so fire dragons, number 7, and 7, of course, is a very spiritual number. It has to do with quiet contemplation, going within. It's very peaceful. It's the calm before the storm. Dragons are fourth dimensional elementals. They can access and transmute heavy vibrations that angels cannot reach. Archangel Gabriel oversees Thor and his fire dragons. You're asked to send out fire dragons, supervised by Gabriel, to consume negativity in places and auras, and then ask Gabriel's angels to replace the lower energies with a shimmering diamond of pure light. Call on fire dragon to transmute any stuck energy in your own aura and to light you up at a higher frequency so that you can radiate enthusiasm and joy. And the affirmation is, I invoke fire dragons to clear my path to ascension. So the fire is bringing up the fight here in the spread for us. Sometimes there needs to be fire to transmute the energies. Okay? And you can use the fire dragons, you can use the violet flame. But this is perfect because when I was meditating this morning, it was also coming up that it's just very important that we are transmuters. We're here to clear the energies. So when we meditate, we're clearing ourselves, our aura, and then the environment around us. We're clearing these energies, and a lot of us end up traveling to do that in other areas as well. So it's just giving you another tool in order to clear things with fire dragons. And fire is a transmuter, so when we have fights, I mean, that's your fire energy. It's stuff coming out, you know, that's been held in. Because you shouldn't be holding in your truth, it's your authenticity that's been held back, and now it's coming out in an explosive way because you weren't being authentic to begin with. But that's a quick way of cleansing the area. It's not the most positive way, but it's very effective. And then we have, and this is for the divine feminine, we also have farm. So, you know, we're looking at a simpler life. And it's interesting because, you know, it's the horses, and I passed the farm today where one of the horses that I don't usually see was right by the fence because there was a woman walking who had brought something to feed to the horse. That, you know, the divine feminine is working on getting back to a more simple way of life. Organic foods, spending time in nature, and noticing the animals around us. Any animals who are our environment are going to reflect back to us just like humans, what our energies are. So pay attention to what the squirrels are doing around you. They give you a lot of information, the birds, all of the animals. Is it really quiet and there's no animals? Are there a lot of animals? And what are they doing? They're telling you what your energies are, so pay attention. Okay. And the farm card is also from the past life deck. So there may be issues from a life on the farm that you might want to explore in your meditation. Okay. And then again, we have the dream a little from the journey of love. Number 51, which is the King of Swords. And that's the one working through the 5. So it's the masculine energy, the driven energy on the inside, working through the 5 on the outside, which is the the personality of a salesman, because I know a little bit about a lot of different things, so it makes them fun to talk to. So that they're usually exciting people. People will want to know them because they seem so fun and exciting, and like they've done everything that you haven't done. But that's just on the outside. On the inside of this 51 is just that very focused, driven energy of the masculine to achieve the 6, which is about love, family, and community. So dream a little. This is for the divine feminine. The divine wants to bless you with inspiration, just as a lover would come to the door of the beloved with a spontaneous gift of flowers. So dream a little. And Spirit's connecting with me. Let your imagination wander and wonder. What if? What else could be? Breaking down the rigid walls of expectation. Just because something has been does not indicate that it must continue in the same way, and Spirit's really connecting with me on that sentence. So dream a little and receive your spiritual gift. This oracle brings you guidance. A spiritual gift of inspiration is on its way and has just recently been received. It isn't flight of fancy, it's a gift from the divine. Receive it and believe in new possibilities. And the poem reads, from unexpected meetings, we talked and shared our lifetime. A gentle, peaceful, quiet time reflected in our smile. We winged our way to distant places and walked along remembered faces of lives we knew we lived some time before. And Spirit's connecting. And like a bud about to flower, having reached its appointed hour, we watch ourselves begin to open in the warm touch of spring. So it's saying you are receiving your gifts now. They're coming in. And that maybe they will blossom as soon as the weather starts to get warm. To dream a little. Enjoy yourselves. Okay? So I hope these messages were helpful to you. If it doesn't resonate, please don't make it so. Okay? And have an amazing week. Let's see, today is the 2nd. We're at Tuesday. Yeah. Have an amazing week. Be good to yourselves. And like I always remind you, make sure to drink lots of water. It's really important to flush all the crap out of your body. Okay? No matter what you're doing. And, you know, clean, filtered water is, you know, better than tap water, you know, because you're putting more impurities into your body. So make sure you drink a lot of water, get as much rest as you can, and try to balance your grounding with your, you know, your daily duties. Make sure and get outside and take a walk, or, you know, meditate, salt baths, whatever you do to ground yourself, and just be physical to get some of your scattered energies out. You know, work out, or just do something physical, dance at home, whatever you want. But just be balanced in the way you take care of yourself every day. Okay? So until the next time, rise and be love, everyone. Take care.